Welcome to the deep dive. Today we've got a really fascinating stack of sources. They're pushing this pretty radical idea that real vitality, genuine personal renewal, actually starts with having completely, totally purified air.
Yeah, it's quite a claim.
So we're diving deep into the tech and, I guess, the philosophy behind something called the Air 6-Free Maze Purifier. We have technical docs, patents, even manifestos from the authors talking about a new era of choosing renewal.
And our mission really is to bridge that gap, connect the engineering side to this, well, this ethos they're promoting. We need to carefully break down the technical stuff, what they call the maze principle,
Right.
and then hold that up against these very bold claims from the authors, Fuchi Wu and Junshi DaGe, about, restoring life rhythms, even anti-aging.
It sounds like they're pitching a shortcut to transformation, basically starting in your own home.
That's the angle, yeah.
Okay, let's unpack this. The name itself is pretty striking. Air 6-Free Maze Purifier. That suggests an incredibly high bar. Before we even touch the maze part, what's this 6-Free standard? What are you promising to get rid of?
The 6 no's, or Lu Wu in the original, are absolutely central. They frame it as the benchmark, the goal, eliminating, and this is their phrase, every particle harmful to life. It's really a claim of total environmental control in your immediate space.
Wow, okay. Every particle harmful to life. That's audacious. That goes way beyond what most people think of when they hear air purifier.
It absolutely does. And the specific categories show that ambition. They promise air, that is. Dust-free.
Okay, standard.
Germ-free.
Right.
Toxin-free.
Getting trickier.
Smoke-free. Odor-free.
Yeah.
And here's the big one. Heavy metal-free.
Whoa, hang on. Heavy metal free.
Huh.
We jump from dust and smoke, which, okay, many filters handle, to toxins, which is already tough for VOCs and things, but heavy metals in the air. That implies dealing with particles on a nanoscale level, right? That changes the whole engineering challenge.
Exactly. It's easy to just list the 6 no's, but achieving toxin-free and especially heavy metal-free, that requires tackling ultrafine pollutants. We're talking particles so tiny they often bypass standard filters and can get directly into your bloodstream.
So this promise is really what sets the stage for their special tech, this maze principle. They're basically saying traditional HEPA filters aren't enough.
Precisely. They argue they needed a new method for these ultra-small particles.
Okay, that distinction is vital then. This isn't just a filtration as usual. It's pitched as an environmental control system for the smallest, potentially most dangerous stuff. So how does it actually do it? Let's get into the tech core. The 8-second air 6-free maze purification principle. Sounds fast.
It does. And the sources lay out a 5-step process. The name implies, a complete cycle in just 8 seconds. It's designed for speed and thoroughness, especially for those ultrafine particles.
All right, walk us through the 5 steps. How do they build up to catching these supposedly impossible particles?
Okay, step 1 is intake and prep. It uses negative ion charging combined with a HEPA pre-filter.
So ions first.
Yeah, the ions are key early on. They give an electrical charge to pollutants like dust, pollen, even microplastics, basically making them easier targets later in the process.
Okay, so you're tagging the targets right at the start. Makes sense.
Exactly. Then step 2 is secondary ionization. This stage focuses more on neutralization, zapping airborne pathogens like viruses and bacteria. It also starts breaking down chemical toxins, VOCs, before they get deeper into the machine.
Right, so prep, sterilize. Now we get to the unique parts, right? Steps 3 and 4, this is where the maze comes in.
Correct. Step 3 involves entering what they call the electrostatic maze box. It's designed to pull in and permanently trap particles that still have that charge from step 1. Think of it as an initial trap for the smaller charged stuff.
Okay.
But the real proprietary tech, the thing referenced in their patents, is step 4, the maze effect itself.
The maze effect. Okay, paint a picture for us. What's happening to the air inside this maze? Is there an analogy?
Imagine maybe a microscopic, super dense pinball machine. The air is forced, really forced, through this complex labyrinth of sharp turns and very narrow channels.
Okay.
Now, nanoparticles, the heavy metals, tiny toxin residues, they have momentum, unlike the air molecules. When the airflow is suddenly yanked, say 90 or 180 degrees very quickly, these heavier particles can't follow.
Ah, inertia.
Exactly, inertia. Their momentum makes them crash straight into the specially designed internal walls of the maze, and once they hit, they stick. They're mechanically trapped.
That sounds incredibly specific, using physics, collision dynamics to trap things like heavy metal dust. But wait, if you're forcing air through such tight, sharp turns, causing constant collisions, doesn't that take a huge amount of energy? to push the air through?
That's a really sharp question. The source material doesn't focus heavily on energy consumption figures, but it does emphasize that 8-second cycle time.
Right, the speed.
Yeah, the implication is that the engineering is optimized for airflow velocity fast enough for the inertia effect to work efficiently, but presumably designed not to be excessively power-hungry. The main focus in these documents is the outcome, achieving that 6-free standard. Which brings us to step 5.
Which is just releasing the clean air.
Releasing the air, yes. Only the air that successfully navigated the whole maze, supposedly free of all 6 pollutant types, gets sent back into the room. And the key difference, like you pointed out, is the specific engineering focus on those ultrafine pollutants, the ones the authors believe really impact long-term health.
And this is exactly where the sources take a sharp turn, isn't it? We go from physics and patents right into, well, almost a philosophical manifesto, this master's insight perspective from Fuchi Wu and Junshi DaGe. They're not just selling tech here.
No, it's a dramatic shift. They move from measurable mechanics to a much more holistic view. They start by redefining the problem. They say we're all at the crossroads of life quality. And the real issue, they argue, isn't necessarily big, obvious pollution events. It's the constant low-level cumulative effect of our environment that prevents our bodies from ever truly resting and resetting.
So pollution as a constant background drain on our system rather than just an occasional hazard.
That's precisely the framing, and in that context, the device stops being just a filter. They call it a carefully designed airflow system with protective energy zoning.
Protective energy zoning. That sounds quite abstract. How do they define that zone? Is it something you can measure, or is it more metaphorical?
It seems to be their term for the immediate environment. The machine creates that bubble of consistent, ultra-clean, 6-free air right around you. The energy part isn't mystical. It refers to your body's own energy.
Ah, I see.
Their point is, by removing that constant low-grade stress of filtering pollutants internally, your body doesn't have to keep spending resources on defense and neutralization. It frees up energy.
So the machine creates the perfect external conditions, acting as a soft tool, I think that was their phrase, which then lets your internal systems kind of naturally rebalance and reset themselves.
That's the core philosophy, yes. And the benefits they claim, improving your constitution, sleeping better, feeling emotionally more stable, are all tied to this idea of activating your inherent potential.
Right.
They sum it up nicely. Air purification is not just about numbers, it's about awakening your inner vitality. It really shifts the focus from cleaning the air to enabling the body's own repair.
Okay, let's cackle the biggest claims then, the ones about longevity and maybe even anti-aging. They have this section titled, World's Most Vital Life Support Technology. How do they connect 6-free air to, well, living longer or better? Is there a mechanism proposed?
Yeah, their argument hinges on a concept they call the toxin saturation threshold.
The toxin saturation threshold. Okay, tell us about that. What is it, according to them?
They propose that everyone has this kind of physiological tipping point. It's the threshold where your body starts spending more energy dealing with environmental and internal toxins than it does on vital things like cell repair, regeneration, keeping your immune system strong.
Okay.
When you're constantly breathing in low-level pollutants, your body is always operating right at or very near that threshold, constantly fighting a low-grade battle.
Which, in their view, is systemic aging. Your body is just worn down over time, depleting reserves.
That's exactly it. So the claim for the Maze Purifier is this. By continuously providing this ultra-pure air, removing those 6 types of pollutants, it dramatically slows down the rate at which your body takes in new toxins. This allows your system over the long haul, over decades maybe, to consistently stay below that critical saturation threshold. It's framed as actively, preventatively slowing down that systemic wear and tear.
So it's less about an aggressive detox and more about reducing the need for constant background detoxing, which then frees up your body's resources for actual repair and restoration.
That's the nuance they're emphasizing. And this focus on the long game brings us to a really crucial point they make about authenticity. You know, in a market flooded with health claims, they keep coming back to verifiable proof. The U.S. patent, number US 8268058B2, the high-efficiency Labyrinth air treatment device.
Okay, why is citing that specific patent number so important for you, the listener, trying to evaluate this, and for their whole narrative.
Well, it's the anchor. It connects the sort of grand philosophical claims back to concrete engineering. The patent serves as their bedrock evidence for uniqueness and effectiveness.
Right, proof it's not just a standard filter in a fancy box.
Exactly. It guarantees, or aims to guarantee, that the specific maze effect design and logic is real and distinct. For you, the listener, it offers something verifiable you can look up. It's positioned as protection against ineffective knockoffs and assures you're getting what they call the original energy field engineering. The specific tech they claim is necessary to actually hit that 6 free standard. Without that unique tech, the big transformation claims really lose their foundation.
That makes complete sense. The patent grounds the more ambitious claims in something tangible, and looking ahead, they hint this isn't the end of the road for this idea.
Yeah, there's a brief mention of future possibilities, like integrating these purifiers with airfield visualization systems.
Airfield visualization, what would that even look like?
The idea seems to be about making the invisible visible. You get real-time data, maybe a visual display, showing the quality of the air envelope around you, combining the subjective feeling of vitality with objective, measurable feedback on your protective energy zoning, as they call it.
Fascinating. So this has really been a deep dive into a clear dichotomy.
Yeah.
On one hand, the Air 6-free maze purifier is presented as this super sophisticated machine.
Right, using the maze effect, collision physics, targeting nanoparticles.
And on the other hand, it's framed as this profound catalyst for airfield renewal and restoring your life rhythm.
And that dichotomy seems intentional. The authors really hammer home that choosing this device isn't just about air quality metrics. They literally say, what you're choosing is not just a machine, it's the life you want to live.
Wow.
It explicitly links the engineering feat of 6 free air to the ultimate aspiration of unlocking personal potential and vitality.
So here's the final thought for you to chew on, based on everything we've unpacked from these sources. If the most significant lasting changes really do start in unseen ways in our environment, how might focusing this intensely on purifying your immediate surroundings, creating an environment where, as they claim, you might wake up each day feeling just as young as you did yesterday? How might that fundamentally change your own approach to well-being, to vitality, and the choices you make every day? Something to consider.